What's up, JuJuan Buford here. What I want to talk about today is a conversation I just had with an entrepreneur regarding a question that was posed, basically asking what are the top reasons why people fail at entrepreneurship. And, there's a myriad of different reasons, right? Individuals come to the table with different tool stacks, different knowledge stacks, experience, skills, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But my experience has taught me that there's three primary reasons why most entrepreneurs fail, regardless of the industry. And the first being, number one, is people get off the road too soon. And what do I mean by that? Any seasoned entrepreneurs telling the truth, right, will admit that the road to yes is no. And the bottom line is, particularly for new entrepreneurs who aren't accustomed to being told no, or who are afraid of no, or the kiss of death, take no personally. What they end up doing is they get off the road to success too soon, right? After 2-3 no's, after a series of rejections, they quit. They throw up their hands, right? A value prop isn't right. Something's wrong with me. Something's wrong with the economy. Something's wrong with the environment, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the bottom line is they get off the road a mile or 2 or 3 miles too soon, right? When the yes was right around the corner. And so that is the top reason, one of the reasons why entrepreneurs oftentimes fail. So they're too concerned about being told no, being rejected, not willing to give themselves time to cook. The bottom line is, when you're first starting out in any endeavor, what you're really doing is, what you should be doing is beta testing, right? You should be going through your project 100. Which means you should be reaching out to at least 100 individuals. And of course, if you're using social media and email marketing, you probably want to be reaching out to approximately 1,000 individuals, just being transparent with you. Because in the beginning, what you're doing is you are acquiring feedback. You're listening and you're paying attention to the reasons why people say no, or the reasons why they say yes. It gives you an opportunity to fine tune your approach. It gives you an opportunity to better understand what people are thinking. And so you can make the adjustments accordingly and get better at the games you're playing. But most individuals are not willing to give themselves the time to learn that lesson, right? They just throw up their hands, they're out of here. The other reason why entrepreneurs fail is not being willing to learn a system, right? Being systemic in their approach. Here's what I mean by that. Look, the way that you would go about earning your first $2,000 or $5,000, right, or your first $10,000 or $20,000, it's going to be totally different than the approach you would take if you're looking to build a business that's going to pay you $100K whether you go to work or not. Your modus operandi is going to be a lot different. Same thing for an individual that is looking to go out and earn their first $100K. And look, you can run yourself to the ground. You can grind it out. There are a lot of different things that you can sell, a lot of different approaches you can take to earn $100K. But if you want to get to the point where your business is generating $1 million, right, and it's systemic, you're not waking up having to be the hero every single day. You're not waking up having to be the center of attention and waking up making the sales day in and day out, night in and night out. You're going to take a totally different approach. And the bottom line is, a lot of entrepreneurs, they're winging it, and not very coachable. Not willing to learn the system. They're caught up in the laissez-faire, or they're caught up in the celebrity, right, that is associated with being an entrepreneur now because of social media. I'm not even going to go down that road, but you get the point that I'm making here. They believe that being the center of the attention, being the star, if you will, is the way that you scale and you grow. And then, with rare exceptions, that's just not the case. I mean, I want you to think about it like this. And I can't remember what book it is. I don't know, it'll come to me another time. But the average multimillionaire and most people's neighborhoods, they're not online like that. They're not chasing celebrity status. They may have some ads, they may have some marketing campaigns, they may have some systems in place to help people get the word out about their value prop, but they're not trying to be the center of attention. They're not trying to be the deal, right? They are attempting, or they are effective at delegating a lot of the day-to-day that transpires in their business, right? Just think about it like that. I mean, the dentist, the doctor, the contractor, the real estate agent or broker, It's so many different business models that I can name where the individuals ultimately, if they're doing it correctly, they've created teams or now they're utilizing AI to create automations where, once again, they don't have to be the center of the deal. They don't have to be the center of attention, if you will. And the bottom line is that's the other reason. Business owners, entrepreneurs burn out all the time because they're not being systemic. So that's the second reason why entrepreneurs fail, particularly in the direct selling industry. 9 times out of 10, if you are affiliated with a company in the direct selling industry and it's produced thousands, if not tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of individuals who are earning income and doing so comfortably, they've built organizations, they've scaled nationally or internationally. Trust me, there's a system in place there that has allowed for that to happen. Last but not least, and this might be the number one killer actually, people caring too much about their family, their friends, their neighbors, people's opinions. The bottom line is most people are not going to be full-time entrepreneurs. It's not going to happen. Most people don't want to be full entrepreneurs, right? They don't want to pay the price that's required in order to earn grown adult income, take care of your family, keep a roof over your head, travel, live a life of satisfaction. However, individuals will start up a business and then they'll talk to the individuals who are not running the race they're running or have not achieved the success that they're taking aim at. And once again, it's the kiss of death, right? You want to go out here, you want to build a business that's paying you 6 figures plus, or let's say you're taking aim at 7 figures, and the majority of people aren't earning that kind of money, right? How can they help you? I mean, really, what kind of perspective can they share at the end of the day? You can't lead people where you have not grown or gone, and you can't help people achieve things in areas or spaces where you have not grown. It's like asking, I don't know, some minor league coach how to win an NBA championship or how to win the Super Bowl. It's just not going to work. And so that kills businesses more than anything else, right? Particularly if you are building something that has some novelty to it. You're building something that people may not be all that familiar with. People are going to lean on their biases, right? I listen to people all the time talk about starting up businesses that, quite frankly, really low likelihood of success. You know, a lot of people in ecosystems I talk to, they want to start up restaurants. I'm not knocking that. But do you know how difficult it is to be successful? You know what the failure rate is? Start up a restaurant from scratch, particularly if you don't have deep experience in that industry. But you talk to a lot of people that say, yeah, go ahead and start up that restaurant. You're a good cook. No. No. It requires more than being a good cook, right? But somebody starts up a business that maybe is still kind of fledgling in terms of market acceptance. Maybe it's still, once again, novel or new, and folks will dissuade you. They'll share their opinions and perspectives about the likelihood of your success. And, you know, not to be redundant, but to be purposely redundant, you should not be taking advice and guidance from individuals who are not running on your path, or who, once again, who have not achieved what it is you're taking aim at. So those are 3 things that absolutely murder businesses. It just detonate them on the spot. And these are the 3 things that, quite frankly, take most entrepreneurs out, particularly startups, particularly individuals who are fledgling at the game they're playing. Celebrate success in advance. Goodbye for now.